interesting. All our production seems fine. And we seem to be doing alright in general, I think. More warriors being pumped out of Pezagar, or more immortals being pumped out of Pezagarde. And that's a rather good thing. We'll keep them working on... Actually, we'll have them build another worker, since we're rather short on those at the moment. Antioch is doing alright. Plenty of population there. I think we're going to try to build a road across to these guys, but he's in the way, so I guess we'll wait a turn. We could actually build a colony here, and that would give us access to the horses. In order to get the horses, we need to get it within our territory, but building a colony there would supersede that requirement. But that would also consume the workers, so that's a rather large waste, and we're not going to do that. This guy's going to build a city there. It's not going to be a very good city, but it's going to give us access to the incense, and it'll be one less city we'll have to conquer from the Egyptians later on. Here we'll build a temple, since we're probably going to want to fill in that territory with our borders pretty soon. And we're going to plop down a city probably here, I would say. So we're probably going to want to build a road to that iron up there and get access to that, since that would be rather useful. We finished a spearman here. We're going to build... I think we'll build a barracks there, and we'll send the spearmen back to fortify that city. And we'll bring the irrigation down to Sardis so it can take advantage of it, and build a road up to that iron. This guy's going to start building a road across to wherever we're going to build that city, and unfortunately this warrior we sent to explore out moved into the enemy territory, because I forgot his path was set across that area, so the Russians are going to be rather mad, and we'll have to move our guy out of their land to appease them. Here we're going to build another barracks, since it's one of our core cities that's going to be pumping out units for us later on. This settler is going to settle... I suppose we could sneak a city in here. That's a floodplain, so that's not too bad. I guess we could do with a city right there. Or we could put it up here. Actually, we probably should settle... Yeah, we'll put one there. It's fairly close to those other two cities, but that's not too big of a deal. Keep these warriors going around, and they're going to go around this lake here and try to explore this area, see what they can find. I think we'll change production entire to a temple. I think that's more important for the time being. We want to expand and get more territory for it. There's lots of... I'd like it to get this bonus grassland there and take advantage of that. So, Pezagarde built a worker, and they're going to switch back to immortals. We're also going to develop more land for Pezagarde, since they're hovering around 3 populations, so we're going to need to expand their total production abilities. Sidon is doing fairly well. They've got lots of bonus grassland to themselves. It's going to be a fairly decent city, I think. Bactria is about to pump out a spearman, but I think I'll change production to a barracks first, and have it build immortals for us. Okay. I think the Russians are now up to 5 cities or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're up to 7 cities, actually. So they're doing alright now. The Egyptians have kind of slowed down. They're up to, they're still at 7 cities. And the Mayans are at 5 cities. So they're not doing so great. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities. So we're ahead of everyone else. And our cities are a lot better. As you can see, a lot of the computer player cities are just little crappy things with 1 population and no real developed territory to speak of. All of ours have at least a couple improvements. Usually every single square we're developing has an improvement. I notice our Bella doesn't actually have enough improvements to suit it, so we're going to have to go up there and fix that. So it seems the mines are over here somewhere, and we'll be scouting them out with our 2 warriors. We're going to continue developing all the land around our cities. Again, that's really important to make sure you keep up with that, so as not to fall too far behind. Again, it can be tempting to not worry too much about developing your territory and just plopping down lots of cities, but it's important to make sure you have the territory that the territory you're working also has plenty of improvement on it, so it's a lot more efficient. The Russians have put down another city down there, so it looks like there's not going to be too many more cities in this area, and they didn't place it down very effectively. They're not going to be taking advantage of those two cattle. I imagine they're only going to plop down one more city in that area. So we're definitely going to have a city advantage against most of our opponents, I think. We'll also be grabbing this incense, and that'll be increasing our happiness quite a bit more. We'll build a road to this mountain to take advantage of that. If we plop down a city in here, I don't think we can fit another one anywhere else. Actually, maybe we could fit one in there. That's not too bad of a place, I guess. Well, it's kind of cramped. We could throw one up in the tundra, I suppose, but it wouldn't be very good at all. But I guess there's that territory is going to be kind of bad anyway, and might as well take it from them. Then make sure they don't try to sneak one up there when we're not looking. We're going to build a city in here. We seem to have a worker shortage, and it doesn't have any development to it just yet. But hopefully that'll change soon enough. We're going to have it build a spearmen for itself to defend itself, and we're going to build a road up to this iron. Eventually we'll be grabbing that. We're going to build a mine here for Pezagarde, and let's see. Keep these warriors exploring, and it looks like we found the edge of mine territory, and they're not doing well by the looks of things, and it looks to be because they've got quite a bit of jungle to deal with, so it's a bit too bad for them, I guess. We're going to start irrigating this desert to try to make it a little more effective, but actually no, we're not. We're just going to irrigate the plains, since the plains are a lot better overall. It seems there's more territory up there than I thought. We're going to go see what's up there in a little while. Persepolis is going to start producing workers for us to defend all of our cities, since we're rather short on workers at the moment. Let's see, we're going to spread these warriors out and send them in different directions. Wondering, it looks like this whole area isn't going to be all that impressive. It would be nice to have had the Mayans closer to us, since they're so weak. We could have conquered them more easily, but this isn't the case. We've finished monarchy, so we can actually now overthrow our government and switch out of despotism. So we're going to do that right away, and it takes a number of turns to change governments. If we go see the domestic advisor, it's going to take 5 turns for us to get everything under control again, which is quite a while, unfortunately. Switching governments also causes quite a bit of dissent among your citizens when you're in anarchy, so you need to make sure that you have at least one happy worker for every unhappy one. The content ones don't matter, but because we have so many luxuries available to us, we've got plenty of happy workers, so we shouldn't see any civil disorder cropping up as a result of our change in management. Which again is fortunate, since we don't really want that to happen, but unfortunately we are going to stop all production in all cities while we're switching governments, but there's nothing that can really be done about that, except if you happen to be a religious civilization. One of the benefits of being a religious civilization is reduced, the time to switch governments is reduced. I think it's reduced down to 1 turn actually, which is pretty quick, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I haven't played one in a while, and I don't quite remember what it does. With that guy done, we're now going to develop this city a little bit, and eventually we're going to clear out that jungle, since it's jungle is very undesirable in general. We don't really want to be using it all that much. And Pezagarde is rather productive now, or at least it would be if we weren't in anarchy. I'm contemplating putting a city up here somewhere, and I think we might, because there's quite a bit of space there that's probably not going to be used by Pezagarde ever, so that's definitely something to consider. We're going to throw a mine down on this square preemptively for when Tyre expands large enough to take advantage of it. This warrior, I think we're going to send back to our civilization since we don't really need any more guys out there, really. This guy should be able to take care of the exploring on his own since he doesn't have much room left to explore. And it seems that there's quite a bottleneck here for the Mayans. They're probably going to plop down one more city around here. That'll probably be all the expansion they're going to do. They might send a settler in and around here to try to grab some land, but I don't think they're going to get to it in time. I think the Russians and the Egyptians are definitely going to beat them to that. It seems that I'm running out of time, so I'm going to wrap up the video here. And next couple videos, we're probably going to start attacking soon. We have starting to build up a force of immortals, and once it's big enough, we'll eventually attack one of the civs. Alright, well, that's all for now. I'll see you next time.